It's week 34 of A Year of Wisdom. Let's get to reading. Day 232. Job 28 and 29. Indeed, there is a mine for silver and a place for gold to be refined. Iron is taken from dust, and he pours out copper from ore. He puts an end to darkness, and he searches out the farthest limits, for the ore in gloom and deep shadow. He breaks open a mine shaft away from where people dwell, those who are forgotten by travelers. They dangle, they sway far away from human beings. As for the earth, from it comes food, but underneath it, it is churned up as by fire. Its stones are the place of sapphire, and the earthen dirt has gold. It is a path a bird of prey does not know, and the black kite's eye has not seen. Proud wild animals have not trodden it. The lion in its prime has not prowled over it. He puts his hand on the hard rock. He overturns mountains by the roots. He cuts out tunnels in the rocks, and his eye sees every treasure. He dams up rivers from their sources, and he brings secret things to the light. But from where will wisdom be found? And where in the world is the place of understanding? A human being does not know its proper value, and it is not found in the land of the living. The deep says, "It is not in me," and the sea says, "It is not with me." Refined gold cannot be gotten in its place, and silver cannot be weighed out as its price. It cannot be bought for the gold of Ophir, for precious onyx or sapphire. Gold and glass cannot be compared with it, and its substitution cannot be an ornament of refined gold. Black corals and crystal will not be mentioned, and wisdom's price is more than red corals. The topaz of Cush cannot be compared with it. It cannot be bought for pure gold. Indeed, from where does wisdom come? And where in the world is the place of understanding? It is hidden from the eyes of all living, and it is concealed from the birds of the heaven. Abaddon and Death say, "We heard its rumor with our ears." God understands its way, and he knows its place, for he himself looks to the end of the earth. He sees under all the heaven, when he gave weight to the wind, and he apportioned the waters by measure. When he made a rule for the rain, and a way for the thunder's lightning bolt, then he saw it and talked about it. He established it, and moreover he explored it. And to the human beings he said, "Look, the fear of the Lord is wisdom, and to depart from evil is understanding." Then Job again took up his discourse and said, "Oh, that I were as in the months before, as in the days when God watched over me, when his shining lamp was over my head. By his light I walked through darkness, as when I was in the days of my prime, when God's confiding was over my house, when Shaddai was still with me. My children were all around me, when my paths were washed in sour milk, and the rock poured out streams of oil for me. At my going out the gate to the city, I secured my seat in the square. Young men saw me and stepped aside, and the aged rose up and stood. Officials refrained from talking, and they laid their hand on their mouth. The voices of nobles were hushed, and their tongues stuck to their palate. When the ear heard and commended me, and the eye saw and testified in support of me, because I saved the needy who cried for help, and I saved the orphan from whom there was no helper. The blessing of the wretched came upon me, and I caused the widow's heart to sing for joy. I put on righteousness, and it clothed me. My justice was like a robe and a headband. I was eyes to the blind, and I was feet to the lame. I was a father to the poor, and I investigated the stranger's legal dispute. And I broke the evil one's jawbones, and I made his prey drop from his teeth. And I thought, I will pass away in my nest, and like the phoenix I shall multiply my days. My roots were open to water, and dew spent the night on my branches. My glory was new with me, and I was revitalized regularly. They listened to me and waited, and they kept silent for my counsel. After my word, they did not speak again, and my word dropped down like dew upon them. And they waited for me as for the rain, and they opened their mouth wide as for the spring rain. I smiled for them when they had no confidence in anything, and they did not extinguish the light of my face. I chose their way, and I sat as head, and I dwelled like a king among the troops, like one who comforts mourners. Proverbs 20. Wine is a mocker, strong drink a brawler, and any who go astray by it are not wise. Roaring like the lion is the dreaded anger of a king. He who provokes him forfeits his life. It is honorable for the man to refrain from strife, but every fool will be quick to quarrel. The lazy person will not plow in season. He will expect at the harvest, but there will be nothing. Deep waters are like purpose in the heart of a man, and a man of understanding will draw it out. Many a person will proclaim his loyalty for himself, but a man who is trustworthy, who can find? He who walks in his integrity is righteous. Happy are his children who follow him. A king who sits on the throne of judgment winnows all evil with his eyes. Who will say, I have made my heart clean, I am pure from my sin? Stone and stone, measure and measure, both of them are an abomination of Yahweh. Even by his acts, a young man will make himself known, whether his acts are pure and upright. The ear that hears and the eye that sees, Yahweh has made them both. Do not love sleep, lest you become poor. Open your eyes and have plenty of bread. Bad, bad, the buyer will say, but when one goes to him, then he will boast. There's gold and many costly stones, but precious jewels are lips of knowledge. Take his garment, for he has given security to a stranger, and on behalf of a foreigner, take it as a pledge. Bread gained by deceit is sweet for the man, but afterward his mouth will be filled with gravel. A plan will be established by advice, and with guidance make war. He reveals a secret, he who walks about with gossip, and do not associate with the babbler's lips. He who curses his father and his mother, his lamp will be extinguished in the midst of darkness. An inheritance acquired hastily at the beginning will not be blessed at its end. Do not say, I will repay evil. Wait for Yahweh, and he will deliver you. An abomination of Yahweh is a stone and a weight, and scales of falsehood are not good. Away from Yahweh are the steps of a strong man, and how will humankind understand his ways? It is a snare to humankind to say rashly, it is holy, and after vows to scrutinize. The wise king winnows the wicked, and he will drive a wheel over them. The lamp of Yahweh is the spirit of humankind, he who searches every innermost part. Loyalty and faithfulness will preserve a king, and he is upheld with the righteousness of his throne. The glory of young men is their strength, but the beauty of the aged is gray hair. The blows of a wound will cleanse evil, as will beatings of the innermost part. And as always, thank you so much for being here today. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button right there if you would. And click the bell if you want to get notifications for the next video. And if you wouldn't mind, hit that like button for me as well. And I will see you tomorrow. Maranatha. Carry me out of the storm. I'm standing at the crossroads. I'm lost without a clue. I need a big pink neon sign to show me what to do. I thank you, Lord. It glorifies you when you're the only answer. I praise you, Lord, for holding what's too much for me. And I'm amazed by you, Lord, because nothing's too big and nothing's too small to lay at your feet.